Oh, we thought it was extremely important, especially given the conditions. They didn't necessarily suit the tall guys. I mean, it was slippery most of the night, but it was also really windy, and the wind was really fluky. But I mean, we have a really specific role that we want those guys to play, and we thought for the majority of the night they did that extremely well. It was a risk. I was sitting at home through the day just looking at the sheets of rain come through and sort of wondering. I mean, Milburn's such a good wet weather player, and we're still thinking that he's going to play a big part of the final series, potentially along with Cam Mooney as well. But in the end, the decision to go with those big blokes paid off.
Are you across the situation with Daniel Mansell?
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Yeah, he's devastated. We're devastated as well. I won't speculate as to the exact nature of the injury, but our medical staff aren't hopeful, and men's unfortunately seems without hope at the moment as well. Just it's a fickle game, footy.
Chris, just more specifically on the tools, Tom Hawkins, you've backed him in and he had a fantastic night. Yeah,
we thought he set the scene early. He was really dominant in the air. Even when he didn't mark the ball, he looked an imposing presence, and that's what he can do. And we think he's only going to get better. We've had a number of options that we've rolled through our forward half this year. But Tom, he's been in and out a little bit, but we're always confident he's going to play an important role. Now he's still got to back it up and play well, hopefully in the last two games. But tonight, if you're thinking long term, tonight was just another good step in his development.
With the possession count, contested was 30 more than uncontested. Are we unusual?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very unusual. Yeah.
Does it say a lot about how they played tonight and the attitude they had?
Yeah, it probably does. I think stats are an indication, but generally that's all they are. And you've got to look a little bit deeper than that. But the indication was that our intent around the ball was first class tonight. I thought we still made some errors around the ball. But that was always going to happen in finals footy, particularly when it's a bit slippery. So we think when we're as competitive as we can be, we're very hard to beat.
Do you feel like have you guys sort of generally gone a bit longer the last couple of weeks with your kicking?
A little bit, but without trying to fob off the question, Rowan, it's really summing up the situation. We feel that there are plenty of times to use the ball short and possess the ball, and other times it's better to go long. I think it's an indication of the pressured nature of the last few games we've played that we've gone a bit longer. But we're certainly not a team that just goes back and smashes it long to a contest every time.
Chris, Steve Johnson dominated the game. He also did a few sort of millionaire things that didn't come off. Is that part of the big picture with him? Do you give him the licence to be creative? Or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you've got to take the good with the bad. 1 minute you're tearing your hair out, and then next minute you're wondering, how he's sockered that goal. I think if you try to coach some of that flair out of him, you end up with a less output from a player like that. So I won't lie to you and say that at times he doesn't frustrate us, but he is, if he had taken his chances tonight, he would have had a lot better game. He's a really important part of the way we play. He'd certainly give the opposition coach's box headaches, but sometimes he gives us headaches as well.
Chris, it worked out well, but did you think at the end of the first quarter that you might have to move Lonergan? Were you giving thought to that at all?
No, we didn't. I mean, I can understand why you asked the question, but we accept that Franklin's an outstanding player. I think he's in the best couple of forwards in the competition. So at times, if he gets good service, he's going to be effective. But we've got a lot of confidence in our, particularly our tall defenders, but our defensive group as a whole. So I think he can be a little bit reactive and not give those guys a chance to fight back. And we thought across the 4 quarters they put in a pretty good performance collectively.
Have you got next weekend mapped out yet? Like, you're going to do some match practice or?
Yeah, we have. I mean, I won't go into the exact nature of what we're going to do, but we'll try to get some consistency in our week, and we won't have too long off. It is a good chance to do exactly what we want to do from a training perspective, given the time off. The mental freshen up's important as well, but staying hard and staying focused is important at the same time. So we'll have a little bit of time off, but the consistency of our training won't change too much from a normal week.
Joel, Corey, will this help him get where you want him?
I think it will. Yeah, the extra week can't hurt him, but we're confident that he would have been right to play next week.